I was lord of this place before the crows and rats made it their domain.
Hello, everyone. Science Viking here, and it's time to return to Darkest Dungeon. Let's see something. So, yeah, no bounty hunters, which is the one class I really want more of. Another Vestal is a maybe, but we already have quite a few. Many of whom are champion level. So, let's see what the Nomad Wagon has for us. The Mooncloak, Worrystone. Worrystone isn't bad. Heavy Boots. I think I already have a poisoned herb. Somewhere in the inventory. Yep. As well as several blasphemous vials. Okay, well, the next step is to go to the blacksmith and make sure that everybody is as upgraded as they can be. Because, well, it won't take long before we're going to need them to fight. Just quick burn through our gold, getting everybody as high as they can get. In particular, the champions really need to be fully upgraded. In fact, let's see, we're starting to run a little low on cash. So do we really need this many, I'm wondering if I really need this many grave robbers, but honestly I think we're okay. So, let's visit the guild first. So the first thing is, let's upgrade our Vestal's healing abilities. And, yep, we're already out of money. Well, time for another mission. So, let's see, what are our options? We have a decent variety. I want to wait for everybody to finish having their stress fixed before we challenge the Darkest Dungeon again, which means that we're probably going for a mid-level difficulty mission. Fasting seal. That's interesting. Though I don't really... Food isn't that much of a problem for me. Sniper's ring, I think we already have one. Though it's possible that we lost it due to... Nope, we actually have two. Beast Slayer's ring, we already have one of those too. And fortifying garlic. So... Fortifying garlic is at least the... This is a long mission. I think I'm going to do this one. And... Who do I want to bring? Let's bring a... Arbalest, a Plague Doctor, a Hellion... And in the middle position, let's give the middle position to a Highwayman. Stun and gun. Yep. Mainly because this gives... I don't have a good main healer who's low enough level to go on this mission, and this gives me a decent amount of secondary healing abilities. So... trade Blind Fire for... say Bolus. Trade Rallying Flare for Battlefield Bandage for now. Okay, he can use Incision in position 3, so yep, I like this ability set. I suppose I could trade one of these for Battlefield Medicine if we start running low on healing items. Now for... Oh, I should be equipping trinkets, shouldn't I? I knew I was forgetting something. Okay. Definitely going for the bullseye bandana. And Where's the Fuseman's matchstick? Is somebody still equipping it? Did I forget to take it back? I forgot to take it back. Let's unequip all trinkets then. Sort by character class restriction. And there it is. So I'll give the Arbalest the Fuseman's matchstick. I actually want the speed bonus. And then the bullseye bandit. Okay, now for you... I'm actually going to give our Plague Doctor the Blasphemous Vial. And I'm also going to give him the Bloody Herb. Kind of an odd combination, but I'm going for it. Now for you, step one, what do we have that's Highwayman specific? We have the Gunslinger's Buckle. And... let's combine that with Vol's Tassel. This way, the Arbalest is likely to be faster. Well, they have the same speed since the Arbalest's speed is boosted. But the Arbalest can mark targets, and then he can use Vol's Tassel to deal extra damage to them. Our Hellion gets the Ancestor's Pen. And... let's see. Heaven's Hairpin is okay. The extra accuracy is good. But... what are my other options? Let's see. Crew's Bell, Flesh's Heart. Prophet's Eye wouldn't do her any good. Neither would the Ancestor's Coat. Honestly, I'm going to go with the Tentacle Idol. She doesn't have the best max HP, so the extra death blow resistance could be very good. The Virtue Chance is nice, but not terribly important. But 75% death blow resistance is rather nice. Trade Bleed Out for... yeah, let's trade Bleed Out for if it bleeds. And to the provisioning. Bring some shovels. Bring lots of torches. Not that many torches. A couple of medicinal herbs. A couple of keys. That guy jump scared me for a second there. And 6 each of bandages and antivenom. And food. That should be enough food. And I think we're good. Let's embark. The team Stun and Gun. I don't know for certain that this is true, but I have a bias towards thinking that the named team compositions naturally work well together. I suppose we'll
Corruption
find out.
has soaked the soil, sapping all good life from these groves. Let us burn out this evil.
Okay, so far this has actually been a very generous layout and with some pretty good scouting, too. We don't need to go over here at all, we can just go straight here. Right, disarm the trap. This is why we have a highwayman. And why am I not surprised that the highwayman is the one who's opening things and trying to find money as quickly as possible? As the, well, no, he just has compulsive, which I guess... in this case, he compulsively opens things that might have loot in them. Yeah, it's totally a compulsion. That's the reason why he does that. There's no other reason why he should do that. Alright, if it bleeds... Alright, you went first, so pistol shot. And because the cutthroat is alive, I can hit the guy in stealth with Plague Grenade. And Sniper's Mark, and the crowd goes wild. And of course, Blanket Fire reduces evasion to make it even worse.
By inches.
Well, on the good news is the Fusilier dies next turn. We just have to deal with the Bloodletter. That's blinding gas, not the close range blight ability. Well, we'll just have to make the enemy bleed instead. Well, we're done. That's it.
Champion falls.
May as well use Adrenaline Rush to regain the 1 hit point that you lost. And you don't have any healing abilities equipped.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
Well, that was easy. Let's quick adjust. Let's trade Blinding Gas for Noxious Blast. That's the ability I want you to have. Okay, light the torch. Salvage the other torch.
Wealth beyond measure. Awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
And light the salvaged torch, and room battle time. Okay, got a Bladed Giant. This is going to be a bit of a challenge. First, so I just have to use pistol shot. Fortunately, between Sniper's Mark and Wolf's Tassel, we should be able to do a lot of damage to this guy fast. Combining that with a bit of bleeding. In the meantime, let's let the Plague Doctor handle the ones in the back. They need to die too. Don't worry, I have a bullet for each of you, says the Highwayman. Okay, that isn't good. And now we have whatever he's gonna do. Okay, Poison Spores is one of his less dangerous abilities. I mean, it still ain't good, but it's less bad. Okay, one more Plague Grenade and both the Enchantress and the Crone are done. So, there we go.
Struck.
Bones break and flesh tears. With the Arbalest back into position, we can definitely spare you some antivenom. How close is pistol shot going to take us to being rid of this guy? Not really close at all. Well, let's see. This will do 9 to 16, whereas this will do 13 to 25. I'm going to gamble that we get a high roll. Because he's probably going to... Yeah. I figured he was going to use Tree Branch Smackdown. Okay, these two are done. Okay, Emboldening Vapors or just Incision. Incision will actually do a lot of damage. Excise the tune.
Gently.
Yeah, do not underestimate this particular doctor. And Adrenaline Rush will boost the healing because of Battlefield Bandage. And, yeah, go ahead and execute the
Monstrous size has no intrinsic merit.
Okay,
Unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
Let's trade let's trade Incision for Battlefield Medicine. And for you, let's trade Wicked Slice for Open Vein. Because the Gunslinger's Buckle reduces the damage of melee skills, but it doesn't reduce their accuracy or their chance to inflict secondary effects. So...
Glittering gold, trinkets and baubles, paid for in blood.
So the Gunslinger's Buckle reduces the effectiveness of Wicked Slice quite a bit, but it doesn't really negatively affect Open Vein that much. Okay, 5 to 9 for Grape Shot Blast, so it could take out both the maggots if I'm lucky.
Precision
I'm lucky-ish. Okay, as usual, the Sniper's Mark. This is honestly making me wish I had done something to reduce the speed of the highway.
Cleansed from our lands.
Okay. Start with Emboldening Vapors on the Highwayman.
Inspiration and improvement.
And yeah, the buff from Emboldening Vapors lasts for the rest of the fight. And now we just need to concentrate on healing the Hellion, because frankly, the Highwayman can handle the Ghoul all by himself. I think.
Festering fear consumes the mind.
Are you like the Ghoul's hype man today, Ancestor? Okay, maybe the Highwayman can't quite handle the duel all by himself. But with a little help from Noxious Blast, the ghoul is looking pretty handled. In the meantime, the Aura Blast has just been reduced to a complete support role, just marking and healing. The Aura Blast is doing her occultist impression. She's pretending that she's an occultist today. And once again, because you have nothing better to do, just blow it up. And now you get the 16 damage.
The turning point.
Right.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
Okay, so that was... I would say that was a completely unnecessary detour, but the 2 stacks of emeralds in my inventory say that, no, that was necessary. Hunger. Pretty easy to manage, of course. And, yep, again, nothing must be left in. Okay, now I get it. I've been wondering about this for a while, why sometimes a character will just open a chest or a pack and then put the items into your inventory, and why other times they'll open it and keep the items. So I'm guessing compulsive means they're compelled to open it, but they're not stealing it from you. And the other one, the obsession with money, I can't remember the name of the quirk, is the one that causes them to just straight up steal from the operation.
The match is struck. A blazing star is born.
How are we going to do this? Do I want to... 7 to 12, or you can get a critical hit. That could happen too. Okay, the blight chance is 130%. 130 minus 80 is 50. I do actually need this to blight the battery to die, and resisted it. Use Sniper's Mark. Always with the Sniper's Mark. And I'm actually going to tolerate the battery for one more turn because I have a plan. So instead, I'm just going to make the blighted giant lead. So yep, we're going to have to deal with Mark Prey. That's hardly ideal, but it's necessary. And once we finish with the tree branch... Oh, he's going to Confusion Spores. Oh, wonderful. And that screwed up my plan, too. Depends heavily on the turn order. And the turn order is really not what I need it to be. Okay, the original plan was that I need one more Plague Grenade to get rid of the Crone, because she'll take 5 more damage from Blight and then she'll recover. And so, since she was in stealth, I needed to target the Fungal Battery in order to hit her with Plague Grenade. Then Confusion Spores messed everything up. Well, let's get some revenge for those Confusion Spores. Like so. Yeah, we can easily clean these 2 up with Grape Shot Blast once the big guy's down. And that may be sooner than you think. She's desperately marking the prey, hoping that the big guy knows what to do with that situation. Okay, that's less than good. But there we go.
Size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
And Curse of Vulnerability. You move back. We're closer to being in formation. Prevent Escape Cloud. Well, attempt to prevent Escape Cloud. Okay. I don't like being hit by Escape Cloud, but at least they resisted the blight. That is one evasive fungal battery. It's supposed to be like an artillery piece. You shouldn't be able to dodge that easily. Oh, and it has noxious vapors. The enemy has their own version of noxious vapors. And of course, I'm going to stop using Escape Cloud. kill the battery. Okay, the battery is dead.
Destroy them.
They need to get new batteries. And I'm actually going to let the crone live for one more round so that I can get in some battlefield medicine.
Sedated.
And an adrenaline rush. Unfortunately, if we let her get another... Oh, I don't have it. If we don't... Yeah, if we let the crone get another turn, she will just poison them again. So, bolus it is. Alright. The chest. And once again, it actually is just heirlooms.
The flow of otherworldly corruption.
We're gonna need to focus on healing the highwaymen soon, though. Otherwise, we're gonna have some problems. Is this also empty, or is there a room battle? Oh, it's a room battle, and it's with ectoplasm! Wonderful. Okay. And the ectoplasm has high protection, too. And Slime Smash, which has a chance to stun.
Blurred vision. The end approaches.
Gonna start with... I do kind of need to accumulate some healing with Battlefield Bandage, but we may as well mark the target first because the ectoplasm needs to die before we take anything else out. And Hansgard has a Spasm of the Entrails, also known as the Squirts.
Impressive.
Okay, just the critical hit that we needed. Battlefield Bandage. I really should have used antivenom, but I forgot. And Battlefield Medicine. And that will also cure the Plague Doctor of Poison, because healing, when you heal other people, you heal yourself, apparently. Alright, get hacked. 7 to 13 versus 5 to 9 plus 9 points of bleeding. I'm just gonna go for this and hope for a critical.
The ground quakes.
And I managed to both get a critical and not do enough damage. Wonderful. Okay. More Battlefield Medicine. And Rape Shot Blast.
The bigger the beast, the greater the glory.
Antivenom. I'm just gonna have the two in the back keep healing people while the two in the front keep killing things. As long as the large corpse sticks around, we're okay. Well, relatively speaking. I mean, Rain of Blight isn't really that much better than Escape Cloud. Okay. Battlefield Medicine to prevent 1 tick of damage over time. And yeah, remove the battery.
Broken. Maintain the offensive.
Okay, 1 more Iron Swan and we're good. Unfortunately, not having a main healer has created some problems. Oh, you can focus on healing the front runners because they take damage more often.
As the fiend
and there we go.
A faint hope blossoms.
And they give us bandages. And now would probably be a good time to make camp. Rest up.
Circle in the dark.
Feast.
The battle may yet be won.
Just realized I didn't confirm that anyone has a ability that no one in this team has an ability that prevents nighttime ambush. Well, we may be getting nighttime ambushed. See, I could use Revel. However, let's go with Gallows Humor instead. And it worked! So we may as well just have everybody encourage each other. And... okay, the stress is down to 0. Now we can use field dressing to get some healing on the most injured team member. Okay, let's see if we have a midnight surprise.
In Radiance,
Nope.
may we find victory.
We lucked out this time. And I found a map. In your own time map. Or a map of only things we already knew, I guess. Well, either way, we're a bit more healed up. We have less stress. Things are looking good. Let's see if we can find a way to undo that. And our compulsive highwayman continues to be compulsive.
Packs laden with loot are often low on supplies.
Okay.
The light,
And
the promise of safety.
what fresh hell has this room got for us? Nothing. Okay. Nothing is good. I can accept nothing.
A handsome reward for a task well performed.
You know, it's not usually that I make it this far into a mission and still have a stack of citrine. I'm gonna gamble that there won't be a, that was a bad call. So I use a key, and what I get is entirely heirlooms I can't use. And that was my last key, too. Let's get rid of this Tower of Fun. That's not a good start. I'm actually gonna go with Open Vein until we have the marking set up. Okay, mark that thing for death. It needs to death. And 80%. What are the odds the Plague Doctor can take these things out just with Plague Grenade? I suppose we're gonna find out. He's been slimed.
Confusion, nerves, panic.
Okay, he bleeds. Another Plague Grenade.
Masterfully executed.
Okay, that's the end of one fungal battery. In time. Now we just need to get rid of the towering ectoplasm, and we need to get rid of it quickly. Oh, a critical would be greatly appreciated. You know, a high damage roll is good enough. I'll take a high damage.
Press this advantage.
And
give them no quarter.
Anne's got heard me asking for a critical, and she delivered a critical. Okay. This thing needs to take just a little bit of damage. That's 1 point short of what I need. That's 1 hit short of what I need. Last chance, Bola. There we go. Perfect. So we got rid of them with minimal fuss.
Foolish horrors.
And I even found another
Brought
key.
low and driven into the mud.
Okay, so we do actually have to go all the way to the end of the map to find our last highway battle? Room battle. It's not even hallway battle. I couldn't even have been trying to say... What was I trying to say that I ended up with highway battle? This is not Mad Max. And into the room. Let's see what they got for us this time. Oh, new team composition. Okay, Nashers might be a bit of a thing. But, Grape Shot... I was about to say Grape Shot Blast is sure to hit at least one of them, but it is apparently not.
Eradicated.
Oh, right, I can't target them with Plague Grenade because... There's just damage and speed, but not accuracy. I may as well just use Battlefield Medicine. There's not a lot the Plague Doctor can do. And unfortunately, we brought a sniper who actually knows how to hit these things, even though they have high evasion. Okay. I have an idea. Let's embolden the Aura Blast. Might not be the right call, but still trying. Okay, so now, stick with Great Shot Blast. That's one more gone. We can spare you a bandage. And even with emboldening vapors, doesn't manage to one-shot the prone. You have a higher chance to hit the Gnasher, so just hit the Gnasher. Okay, so we... You know, I feel like Tenacious is a pretty good description for this crone. That she's the last team member standing with 1 hit point. Until now. Okay,
Success so clearly in view.
we pretty much looted anything
Or
of
is it
value.
merely a trick of the light?
So, with the mission finished, let's hit the road.
The agents of pestilence will yet be driven from our woods.
We can only hope, Ancestor. We can only hope. 6,700 gold for the mission. That's at least enough to make back the cost of admission. And a further about 10 grand from just the stuff that we found along the way. Okay. You know, I find it hard to argue with that the Hellion is a tippler and in town will only drink. You know, that just seems rather appropriate. Okay. Corbier is a ruminator. Hard noggin, that is good. Plus 15% stun resistance. If I can afford it, I want to lock that in. Cytomania, so... Oh, that's actually a very serious problem. That's the one that makes them eat corpses. I'm gonna need to get rid of that.
In time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings.
You know, I find it hard to imagine it being worse than what I've already seen. And that frightens me. Because it probably is worse than I've already seen. Okay, get these two into treatment. And... the next bit of treatment is... let's get the disease, the spasm of the entrails treated. And... I'm gonna get Cytomania. What's Hieromania? Experiences religious delusions. That also isn't good. While it isn't locked in, it's a lot less expensive to treat, so I'm gonna treat that now. And... while I'm at it, Corbier, I could stand to treat both. Could lock in Hard Noggin and to treat Compulsive. That would cost 6,300, so we'll still have enough gold to fund another mission. Shackles? Really? But we can't really afford to spend any more gold upgrading. So, sort by level. And then sort by class. Can't sort by level and by class. Actually, I think it is sorted that way now. Okay, so at least mostly. So... if I were to put together a team for the Darkest Dungeon, who would I send? Let's see. Do I have a high-level occultist? I could have sworn I did. Yes, Boissel. So... actually, the problem with going to the Darkest Dungeon is the people I'd be likely to send. Well, we only have 2 men-at-arms, one of whom is currently receiving stress treatment, and neither of whom has fully upgraded equipment, probably, or abilities. And we don't have enough gold to upgrade anybody's equipment or abilities right now. So, I definitely can't make the next mission be a Darkest Dungeon mission, because we need money. So... let's see. Plague Doctor is being treated. So if I bring in... let's see, this is only short. Whereas this is medium, and will give me the Berserk Charm. Saints Day. I don't remember what specifically All Saints Day does, but I'm going to go for this one because it's at least of medium length, so we're more likely to get more money and the heroes will get more experience. And this is the team I'm going with. So we have an occultist, a highwayman, a grave robber, and a hellion. Alright, unequip all trinkets. Sort by class. Okay. One thing the occultist gets is the Ancestor's Scroll. And what else would be good for an occultist to have? So reduce debuff resistance, increased dodge, blight, and debuff resistance. Nothing really jumps out as being especially useful, so let's give him the evasion incense. You, same as last time. Except we... Yeah, I'll give you the Fuseman's matchstick. Whereas... Foliot gets the, gets Wolf's tassel. And the, blighting satchel. That leaves our Hellion friend, who gets the Ancestor's Pen again. And in addition to that, Necromancer's Collar. Yeah, almost every piece of equipment we have is either ancestral or a trophy. We've kind of upgraded our gear a little bit. Right, some shovels, some torches. That's probably enough torches. Little antivenom, handful of bandages. I don't think there's a use for medicinal herbs, but there's definitely a use for keys and holy water. And food. But he hasn't flickered yet. I'm taking that as a good sign. I'm taking that as an omen of success for this mission. Yeah, the undead will not bleed, but they can be blighted. That's what I'm counting on.
There is power in symbols. Collect the scattered scraps of
this
faith
is,
and give comfort to the masses.
Yeah, I would describe this map layout as, less than generous. Manageable, though.
Carelessness will find no clemency in this place.
Of course, it kind of depends on... I'm not touching that. I'm not falling... I know I got the tentacle idol last time, but I'm not falling for the Shambler's Altar thing again. And it's everyone's favorite ability, Tempting Goblet. Let's see if we can prevent that from happening again. That's exactly how we do that. I really should have checked Moncel's equipped abilities before starting this fight. This is going to be a bit of a challenge. Well, vulnerability X. Poison darts. Ooh, critical poison darts.
Executed.
Think I'm done with you, hard. Yeah, if this were a champion level mission, I'd already be in serious trouble just because of how poorly I chose my equipped abilities. But for an intermediate difficulty mission, that's something that I can manage. And reduce protection to make him even more susceptible. Yeah, the next thrown dagger is going to put him in the ground. And if the marksman hadn't dodged, he'd be done already. Ah, ground. Okay, it only stunned one person. That's good. I just need to do 1 damage. There we go. Yep, I basically just killed something with Weakening Curse. And now I'm going to kill a skeleton with If It Bleeds.
Annihilated. Is the weapon that cuts on its own.
I'd like to remind you not to say if it bleeds we can kill it. Let's not limit ourselves. This works. However, for you, let's trade Sacrificial Stab for Demon's Pull. Alright, I'm not bothering with... Well, I'm not going to key the heirloom chest, just because... I didn't use a key on the chest, and the chest contained a key. It's like, oh, are you out of keys? Let me give you an extra key. Now the word key feels weird because I said it too many times in quick succession. Okay, thrown dagger can't hit the gladiator. So poison darts. Grape shot blast. Alright. Let's actually go with weakening curse on the gladiator. Reduce the damage. And let's see if you can finish him off.
As the fiend falls,
never ask a Hellion. In fact, you know, good rule of thumb: never ask a Hellion whether or not she can kill something. The answer is always yes. Yeah, not even no point in even following up with the Enchantress. Just finish the other one off. Forgotten just how much fun the Grave Robber class can be. Ooh, sapphires. Honestly, because of the extra damage to Blighted, the Grave Robber and the Plague Doctor actually combine very well. Okay, got a blockage and a quest location. Fortunately, I remember the cold
stone seems bent on preventing passage.
Oh, we're finding gold gradually, but we're finding gold. Unfortunately, this is a bit high of a length for a medium mission. Alright, we found ourselves a holy relic. And some scouting, too.
Performed.
Is it holy scouting or just regular scouting? Okay. No confirmation on any quest location yet. Okay, let's start with, yeah, I can't hit position 1 with if it bleeds, so let's start with quick attack. Let's actually go with poison darts on the Enchantress. I have a plan. Unfortunately, that plan involves getting hit with stressful incantation. You just weirdly reconstructed. Ooh, nice. I like those kinds of healing numbers.
Continue the onslaught.
Okay, that's 2 of them done. We just have to deal with the conscript now. Unfortunately, bone conscripts aren't really dangerous.
Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
The only really threatening aspect of the conscript is that Bump in the Night inflicts a debuff.
Their formation is broken.
I meant to use thrown dagger, but poison darts is apparently good enough. Heirlooms we don't need. Okay. This will buff whoever uses it. I'm guessing it's... Let's see what kind of a buff it is. Increased damage until camp. That's good. Okay, so Curio. No quest locations, but there could be a quest location up here. So... Okay. Same altar, which means the same buff. Let's give it to the other guy. Yep, even more extra damage. And we're gonna need it because we have living, moving stoneworks again. Fortunately, he can't be knocked any further back. Yeah, let's go with Grape Shot last. Because now all of them are in one-shot range.
Executed with impunity.
And that's a miss. And unfortunately, gargoyles are fast. You'd think they'd be slow what with being made of stone, but they're actually kind of fast. Well, there we go.
Press disadvantage. Give them no quarter. Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
I am not going to let the Hellion live down the fact that she was outsped by a rock, though. Okay, this is an interesting composition. Pistol shot can't reach the front one, so grape shot blast.
A singular strike.
Have a plan. We could hack on this one. Okay. This is actually going basically the way that I want it to be going. You can't resist being marked. So thrown dagger does 10 to 22. So I need a little bit of luck. And I have it! Okay, so these three get one attack each, but grape shot blast should finish them all off next turn. And there goes the plan. Having a plan was fun while it lasted, but we no longer have a plan. We do have bandages. Slashing daggers does 2 to 5, so will kill one, could kill the other. And even more lash of the tail. That leaves just him. And once again, I killed him with a debuff.
Foolish horrors. Brought low and driven into the mud.
I gotta admit, there is something inherently fun about killing an enemy with Weakening Curse. It's just like, it just feels so insulting to kill an enemy off with a debuff ability. Okay, I don't have any curio interactions for this one, so I'm just gonna leave it alone. Ooh. We are gonna need to make camp soon because we're running out of
that such
torches.
missteps are the exception, and not the rule.
Okay, we have scouting, so we may not need to go all the way down here. And we don't. Okay, how much more map is there? There's a fairly large amount of map left. That could be an issue. Really depends on how many times the enemy uses, I want to call it Fate's Reveal, but it's the lesser version of that because that reduces the... now I want to call it Stress Wave, which is the fish version of that, but the Cultist Enchantress ability that causes stress because it also reduces the torch level. Okay, I have an idea. Weakening Curse because it reduces protection. Another fool for the fight. Flashing daggers to wear the enemy down, and grape shot blast.
Decimated.
And unfortunately, this gargoyle survived that. Well, it may not bleed, but you can still kill it.
Cleansed from our land.
Like I said, you ask a Hellion if she can kill something, the answer is always yes. And pick to the face.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
You know, it is rather appropriate that we're bringing a grave robber here, because this place is basically just a really big grave, and it's even full of undead. Okay, nothing to drop, but... yeah, after this room battle with the Curio, we're gonna need to make camp. In fact, I'm gonna gamble to see if I can win this fight with the torch level as it currently is. Pistol shot will not get the kill. There is really nothing good that you can do right now. I guess I could gamble for a critical, but I didn't really get one. However, if it bleeds, can
A decisive pummeling.
Did you say critical? Vulnerability Hex. That might be enough to allow Thrown Dagger to take this one out. I need a lot of luck, but it's not impossible. Unfortunately, Quarrel missed, and I'm pretty sure I can make that the last argument this one gets into. Unfortunately, the Grave Robber is 1 point shy of Death's Door. Okay, Great Shot Blast. Right. Over the course of this project, I've used all kinds of different methods for dealing with getting past the guarded status. Now to show one that I don't use as often. Force. get some damage over time going, because damage over time cares not about your protection.
A devastating blow.
And let's demonstrate that having a bulwark standing between you and a Hellion is about as useful as hiding behind a pile of cardboard boxes. Yeah, go on, attack the grave robber. She's the real threat, not the Hellion. In fact, he's done. There we go. I'm gonna let this guy, the veteran, live for one more turn because I want to get off one more weird reconstruction. I really hope the 4 hit points and bleeding end up being worth it. Yeah, next time someone gets a turn, we're finishing them off. Okay, so you gained a net of 2 hit points. Tell me, was it worth it?
A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
Okay, frankly, neither of those is worth... Wait, I can light up the firewood before I do anything else. Well, the firewood, we can
huddled together, furtive and vulnerable.
And I'll take the gold and not the citrine. Okay. Again, oh, this time I brought a bandit that has bandit sense. Let's just pretend that I did that on purpose, okay? And no point in using gallows humor because the stress levels are so low. Just using courage a couple of times. And wound care. Yeah, when you don't bring a main healer, those healing camping skills are actually useful. I'm just so used to always having a main healer that it ends up not really making a difference. And since we have bandit sense, we don't need to worry about being ambushed. Clear.
We require only the strength to follow it.
And we got gold. Already glad I didn't take the citrine. Okay, this is now really no different than a extermination mission at this point. We just need to go down this linear series of rooms, and it will take however long it takes for us to get to the end of the mission. So, light up another torch. We're running a little low on supplies. This is another one of those times where it would make sense for the collector to show up. Twitching maggots. Not twitching anymore. Yeah, Monsal, I think you deserve a raise for that shot. That was...
Back to the pit.
That's what I want. Can Grape Shot Blast always do that? Who am I kidding? If it was always...
So too will resistance.
If Grape Shot Blast was always that effective, I wouldn't appreciate it. I'm gonna drop the antivenom. We're unlikely to encounter things that can inflict blight, and we have means of healing ourselves from it. Let's see. Let's go with the blood. I'll have her target the bloodletter. This is one of those times I wish I had a plague doctor. And vulnerability hex. Harmless poke. I don't remember him ever using harmless poke before. Okay. Thrown dagger should finish the job for the bloodletter, which means it's just the other two that we have to worry about. Well, let's see how much pistol shot can do with all these damage buffs. Apparently not very much. That 25% protection is going to make a big difference, apparently. Blanket fire. Fortunately, we mostly managed to avoid the debuff. I suppose it can't hurt to hit this guy with vulnerability hex too. Let's see how high I can get that thrown dagger to go. Okay, that's the end of him. Just it missed this time. 12 to 25.
Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
And now that he's out of stealth... Now he's out of stealth, let's ask the Hellion if she can kill him.
Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
Okay, nothing worth keeping. Okay, now we have scouting. And the penultimate room contains the penultimate quest location. They're making us go all the way if we want this quest reward. Okay. Now we need to drop something again. We can live without the holy water. This is the opposite of the ones where, like, you start off with a whole bunch of items. This is like the opposite of the destroying the animalistic shrines ones, where you have a whole bunch of pickaxes that you gradually use up over the course of the mission. And, well, there's a vacancy in our inventory, because we're out of food. And there's no fight? Okay, that was anticlimactic.
A fortune, waiting to be spent.
Well, anticlimactic or not, let's get out of here. I gotta admit, I'm really grateful the game doesn't make us walk all the way back once we've completed the objective and have to deal with hunger and stuff. That would make things a lot harder.
The trappings of his faith have been restored.
Alright. Again, almost exactly the same amount of gold as last time. And a new champion emerges. I do wonder, like, why... So, the Hellion got 6 resolve experience. So did the Occultist. The Highwayman got 18, and the Grave Robber got 24. I wonder what's causing that. Like, what is it that causes, some heroes to get different? Because none of them had a trinket that affects resolve experience. So I wonder what caused that.
Take advantage of this faith-fueled charity. It will not last.
All Saints Day, which unfortunately is not terribly useful because we don't have as much stress as I expected us to have. Either way, I'm going to be honest, I was mostly in that one for the gold and the experience. Alright, anybody else have any diseases? Nope. So the next thing we need to do is train up people we're likely to want to use in the darkest dungeon. So let's max out the man-at-arms' equipment and Crush, Rampart, Retribution, and Defender. And that's all I can afford to upgrade. Okay, I can't bring Vastal, so what team composition am I thinking of using for the Darkest Dungeon? Let's see. I definitely need a man-at-arms, but we've got that. So the biggest problem is just taking big damage. So, supposing I brought... Let's see, yeah, Boissel's maxed out. A man-at-arms, a Vestal with the Profane Scroll. That would require, if I'm bringing a Vestal with the Profane Scroll, then I need to have more money so that I can level up the Vestal's abilities. And then somebody who can benefit from marked targets in position 3, like a Houndmaster. So, unfortunately, I don't have enough gold to fully upgrade the people that I would need for that mission. So, on the one hand, I think I've figured out the team composition that I want. On the other hand, we need more funds again. Bench this group for now. So here, the commander's orders. Another sharp... Wait, I'm missing something obvious, and looking at the trinkets reminded me of it, which is I don't actually need to keep all of the trinkets that I have when I have duplicates. I don't need 3 sharpening sheaths. I can get by on 1. So the Legendary Bracer is actually pretty good. I don't need 3 Eldritch Slayer's rings. I can get by on 2. I doubt I'll ever use the Moon Cloak. It just doesn't fit my playstyle. Not a big fan of the Gambler's Charm either. So, let's see. If I'm bringing a Houndmaster, an Occultist, a Vestal, and a Man-at-Arms. actually... Okay. Actually, let's bring Corey. Okay, so Corey has... Alright, so... Where's my Houndmaster? I know I only have one. Balance. Let's upgrade your equipment. Lawbringer. And Jet. Alright. So... let's look at upgrading abilities. So for Corey... actually, let's upgrade Hand of Light and Mace Bash. And then Dazzling Light. Okay. For Valance, let's upgrade Hound's Rush, Target Whistle, Cry Havoc, and let's leave that where it is for now. For Blossel, okay, he's pretty good. So let's see, but at the same time, a mark-dependent team isn't necessarily ideal because the wait, let me see something. Blossel has speed of 8. And Valance has speed of 7. Let me see something, because I would need to. I need the occultist. Wait, yeah, I need the occultist to go first. That's the way I want it to be. So let's see. I think I can do this. I have an idea. So. Corey in position 2. Wassel in position 4. Valance in position 3. And if I can find him in the roster, Bokamar in position 1. Okay. So... Corey gets the Profane Scroll. First, let's unequip all trinkets. Yes, I'm going to the Darkest Dungeon. You get the Profane Scroll. And... what else? I could give the Vestal one of the two, I could give her one of the Talismans of the Flame, but I think she's going to be the one who goes without one. So... could give her the Tentacle Idol. Yeah, I think I'll give her the Tentacle Idol. You get it, the Houndmaster gets a Talisman of the Flame. He has a weak grip on life, so I'm just going to have to live with that. And the Spiked Collar. The Occultist gets the Talisman of the Flame and the Ancestor's Scroll. And the Man-at-Arms gets the Flesh's Heart and the Talisman of the Flame. Okay, make sure everybody has the abilities they should have. Crush, Rampart, Defender, and Retribution. Mace Bash, Dazzling Light, Divine Comfort, and Hand of Light. Hound's Rush, Hound's Harry, Target Whistle, and Cry Havoc. Let's see. I'm not sure I want to keep Hound's Harry. I'm tempted to trade that for Guard Dog. In fact, I will. And for you... Demon's Pull, Vulnerability Hex, Weird Reconstruction, and Weakening Curse. Okay. And we're going to trade Hound's Watch for Therapy Dog. And I think we're good. Dodge 5% critical or 10 accuracy. Not sure what to drop because I really want to bring weapons practice, but I'm not sure what to give up for that. I think I'll give up instruction for weapons practice. Okay, I get a hero's ring if I survive this. Alright, let's see if we can do this. Got our 3 hands of glory. Okay, so the only supplies we need are food, but we really need abundant food. Antivenom and bandages. And I realize I'm taking a very large risk, but I'm going all in on all of those. Well, what would my channel be without pointless risks? And frankly, we can survive
the thing has no name,
even if we run out of resources.
or it needs no language. Nevertheless, those who would submit to its word this will are rewarded in a fashion. The creature's blessings are as repulsive as they are robust. Twisted, half-human monstrosities stalk the flesh-ridden halls, protecting their gestating god.
Well, that's ominous. Okay, I'm going for the difficult
Madness
group again
made flesh.
first.
It crawls steadily upward from the pit, supported by the lattice of cyclopean pillars.
Okay. So we already have one of the cultist priests being guarded. Start with vulnerability next. It's a very defensive-oriented team composition. However, really there is no however. This is just a really defensive-oriented team composition. I'm about to find out if that's something I can get away with. Use a bandage. And 16 to 29. Good enough. Okay, let's deal with Maul the Flesh, but we only have to deal with it once. Yeah, we're already racking up quite a bit of damage. Flesh to flesh, fortunately on the wrong target. The finger, fortunately on somebody who can take it. In hindsight, I probably should have actually had Hound's
as the enemy crumbles.
Third reconstruction, and our first low roll of the episode. Well, let's see how Divine Comfort does. Okay, let's rampart this guy. Anything that prevents the enemy from getting in action is a good thing. So we have to deal with one death flash, and that's all we have to deal with. So I can actually... The thing about that is, I can actually out-heal that. Once again, vulnerability hex. This guy needs to be gone quickly. Hound's rush.
Press this advantage.
And this time we get a high
Give
roll.
them no quarter.
Alright, Corey, just keep the healing coming. Rampart. Once again, the fewer times they get to attack, the better for me. Now, I could use Target Whistle, but I'm actually just going to go for Hound's Rush. Just to pile on the one that's already damaged. Okay, Hand of Light can actually reach this one. So can Mace Bash can't. Well, Hand of Light it is, because Crush can also reach that far back. And there we go. Okay, just the last priest.
Maintain the offensive.
What's the vulnerability hex? I'm actually liking this team composition so far. Not something I would have expected myself to end up using, but it's working. I suppose the very defensive team composition is making up for my very aggressive playstyle. Did I bring the wrong... No, I didn't. For a second, I thought I brought the wrong man-at-arms. I brought the one without fully upgraded equipment. Okay. And he keeps making rude gestures at the Though considering how he contorts himself when he's giving us the finger, the enemy's rude gesture technology is clearly decades beyond our
Continue
own.
the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Okay, this warrants a bandage. I brought 12 of them for a reason.
Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
I forgot to bring torches. I actually forgot to bring torches to the darkest dungeon. You know, somebody said I might secretly be a challenge gamer at heart because I keep accidentally making things artificially hard. I think they had a point. Because I can't think of any other explanation for this. I suppose calling it the darkest dungeon is right. Okay, stun resistance is relatively low. Vulnerability X, that way we can get rid of the flesh cultist wall guy. And rid of him we have got. I knew I was forgetting something. Well, I have this. I'm just gonna have to rely on it a lot. Okay, let's actually go for vulnerability X on the cultist because he will die soon. Alright. Crush just to get him into one-shot range. And one shot. Or not. Well, let's finish him off in a nice and insulting way.
A faint hope blossoms.
Daze the Mind, also known as 2 can stun at that game. Weird reconstruction of
A
yourself.
momentary abatement.
Rampart. Okay, this time it resisted both. Ow. I'm gonna go for target whistle this time. Dazzling light.
A powerful blow.
Weird reconstruction. Yeah, this is a rather RNG dependent situation. Okay.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
Yeah, despite my best efforts. Okay, and this is the first group. Well, for 2 reasons I'm going to make camp. One is to replenish the torch level. The other is to accumulate as many different kinds of buffs as I can on my characters. So... let's see. Nothing I can do for you. Nothing for you. However, you have Bless, which increases accuracy. I know how I'm going to use that. Okay, let's make camp.
A spark without kindling.
Feast.
Is a goal without hope.
Okay. So... weapons practice. Alright, how much time do we have left? We have 8 time units. Tactics and maintain equipment both cost 4. And Bless costs 3. So I have to pick 2 of Tactics, Maintain Equipment, and Bless. Bless increases accuracy of everyone. It increases the accuracy of one person. I'm going to go with Bless on the Houndmaster. And then I'm going to go with Tactics to further increase everyone's evasion. Okay, that's all the time units we've got. And watch as I try desperately to manage the consequences of my bad decisions. Move to this room. And... fingers crossed, let us begin. Okay, their stun resistance is 98%. That means they're stunnable. Alright. And first turn, before I have a chance to use a defender ability, it already uses Revelation on the one who's not protected. Followed by Stinger Shot on the same target. Wow. Well, that turned around fast. Okay, we really need weird reconstruction right now. And I need a high roll. Which is good, because I got one. Alright, target whistle on... You know what? No. I'm going to go for a dog treat to increase the Hound's vigor. And I'm just going to go straight for Hound's Rush. Revelation on somebody who's protected from it this time, at least. Okay, start with Defender. And now, yeah, you use Vulnerability Dex. It should last until the Houndmaster gets an action, which is all that matters to me. Yeah, this time Revelation does the amount of damage that it is supposed to do. None. Rush. Yeah, I'm already liking the decision to use Bless. Let's see if we can rampart this guy to deny him his other action. There we go. Right. Antivenom. There's a reason I brought a lot of those. And since that didn't cost him his turn, let's see if this can. Nope. Wait, he was already stunned. I did stun him. For some reason it looked like I hadn't. For some reason I thought I hadn't. Okay, that's the end of his turn, which means we have to do with one of whatever he does. And whatever he does is Torment. Well, I brought Weird Reconstruction for a reason. And he's still marked. How much is he bleeding for? He's only bleeding for 4, which means I need 8 damage for him to die. Hand of Light does 4 to 8. 7. Okay, I need to inflict 1 point.
Quickens.
Never mind. Okay, that's the end of the Impaler. Now I just need to make sure that it isn't the end of the vessel.
Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
Rampart is always a good choice. As is Dazzling Light. I really needed a higher number than that. Fortunately, I don't even need to worry too much about marking this Warlord because his health is so much lower. Okay, now his stun resistance is 147%. We're not going to stun him, but let's renew Defender. Okay, this is going alright. We're accumulating some stress, we're taking some damage, but it's under control.
The wounds of war can be healed, but never hidden.
I'm going to go for Divine Comfort, just to keep the healing up. And Hound's Rush. Because Revelation has been completely removed as a threat now that I have Defender going. And since I have 2 different people who can defend the one person who needs defending, the only dangerous thing he can really do is Torment. Now, as you just saw, Torment is not to be underestimated, but that's something that we can manage. There's a little bit more damage on him. In the meantime, let's keep the healing going.
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle. Unnerved, unbalanced.
Consecutive critical hits, those can be a problem. Fortunately, we actually have time now. Sort of, because he's stunned. Okay! Congratulations! The most successful heal I think I have ever gotten. Critical healing, 54 hit points. That is what Weird Reconstruction can do for you. Okay.
Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
That's the end of the first one. Okay, the question is, I'm gonna go after the second one next. So the way it works is that was the most difficult, the most dangerous, I believe. The only other one that I've taken on before, the one with the hounds, would be the easiest. So the other one would be one of intermediate difficulty. So let's go for that one. I need to fight relatively soon to have a chance to use Dazzling Light to replenish the torch level. So there's likely to be, yep, one of these. And of course he opens up a flesh wall. Alright, I've already got a plan. Start with vulnerability hex on this guy. Just to make sure that the Houndmaster can one-shot him. Do so. For justice. And now, well, we're going to take a bit of damage.
To a killing blow.
Dazzle this one.
Devastating blow.
Grab yourself a bandage. I brought plenty of them for a reason. See if we can stun the other one. We cannot. Alright, now we actually need some divine comfort. I'm seriously worried about the man-at-arms' mental state, though. If he becomes afflicted, we can be in serious trouble. Okay, Rampart, the one that hasn't acted yet. No luck, huh? Vulnerability hex misses, too. And Death Lash could be the thing that does it. Okay, Hound's Rush. Actually, we need Cry Havoc. We need it badly right now. It's the one stress management ability that we have. Unfortunately, I'm not sure that it can overcome Death Lash. I can heal through it from a hit point perspective, but not from a stress perspective. Especially since Cry Havoc isn't guaranteed to reduce any particular hero's stress, and I have officially failed to prevent his resolve from being tested. Alright, what outcome are we gonna get? Haha! Stalwart!
Many fall in the face of chaos, but not this one. Not today.
Many fall. That is awesome. Alright, you just go for healing for everyone. Alright, that's enough. Weirdly reconstruct him. Hound's Rush. In hindsight, I should have gone for the one that wasn't stunned. On the other hand, the one that isn't stunned actually is going to continue not being stunned because that ability missed. This is what happens when I try to get clever. Okay, Rampart. Okay, there. We have a stun. Staunch the flow. Yeah, staunch yourself. I'm going for that purely for the extra torchlight. Okay. That's a good that's a good roll for weird reconstruction. I mean, it isn't. Haha. Keeps reducing his own stress because he came out virtuous.
Precision and power.
Outmaneuvered. Okay, I have to give credit.
Victory. But a victory nonetheless.
If I win this one, Luck is going to have to take some credit for this because, well, if he had come out afflicted instead of virtuous, we would be screwed. We still may be because of the torch shenanigans. Okay. And there is an enemy group, and it includes another growth. Whoa. And things are already starting to go wrong. Okay. 10 to 17 without a critical. Well, it inflicts 2 points of bleeding. Yeah, without a critical, you won't kill.
Annihilated.
Dazzling Light. Which actually does pretty respectable damage. Okay, get a bandage and get some weird reconstruction. Once again, weird reconstruction showing its real potential. Alright. Next, let's go for Defender.
inspiration, and improvement.
Fortunately, Defender won't do us any good against Death Lash. And they're spamming Death Lash, too. Wonderful. Well, start with Dazzling Light, because we need the Torchlight. And we need as many stuns as we can get. What will do us some good against Death Lash is Guard Dog. Because now it will hit the Houndmaster instead. Okay, can't reach that with Rampart. That is too high of stun resistance. Let's go with Crush, which does way more damage than I was expecting it to do. And that evasion buff is coming in real handy right now. Hex on the one with fewer... Yeah, so with vulnerability hex on the cultist with fewer hit points. Crush to bring him definitely into one-shot range. And Dazzling Light should finish off the growth. Okay, we're down to just one cultist. Let's try to make that 0 cultists. Okay, the defender status wore off, unfortunately. Well, go for a stun. Go for a crush. And he's stunned, so I have a plan. It's not a good plan, but it's a plan. Now I can use Cry Havoc and hope that it affects the Vestal. Okay, that's at least a start at mitigating the stress. Weakening Curse. Divine Comfort, hopefully for critical healing and not getting it. Dazzling Light, more Torchlight, and more importantly let the Vestal kill something. Okay. And this would be where the next Templar is.
And driven into the mud.
If this Templar is is of intermediate difficulty, we can use the second firewood here. We can afford to feast.
Circle in the dark. The battle may yet be won.
Alright. Therapy Dog. Alright, this time I need to emphasize reducing the Vestal's stress level. Because we need her not to become afflicted. However, I also have the ability to do weapons practice. I have enough time units for that. So let's do that. Okay. Nice relaxing view of them making camp inside of a flesh maze. Very relaxing place. Just a nice relaxing camping trip inside of flesh hell.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted and purpose is made clear.
There's been a lot of flesh hell in the games that I've been Let's Playing lately. We just went through the Body of the Many, and now we're back here. Okay, Polyps, and then a Templar Impaler.
Death waits.
Okay, and of course, the first thing they do is get a critical hit.
Concentration.
Alright, I have a strong suspicion that these things can be resummoned or can respawn. So, let's go after the Templar Impaler. And we're using the other dog treat. This is definitely the intermediate difficulty of the fight. Fortunately, between dog treats and the target being marked, we can inflict a lot of damage. Alright, and we have antivenom. And since you're not defender yet, let's see if we can dazzle him out of using Revelation. We cannot. And he picks the right target again. Okay, let's not let that happen again, at least. Vestal is protected now. And he does... Okay, he didn't use if he has Torment, he does have Torment, at least he didn't use it. They really want to go for that knockback, and it worked this time. Okay, no option but weird reconstruction, and we're going to need to try that again soon. For you, Hound's Rush or nothing. Go big or go home. I gotta admit, the Revelation, they do a really good job of making Revelation look really disconcerting. Like the visual, the sound effect, it looks like unpleasant to see and unpleasant to hear. Antivenom? And try to rampart your way back into formation. While we're at it, let's try to stun the enemy. Banish is a problem, but these things aren't really that dangerous when their master is gone. We just need to make their master gone. Okay, Rampart missed, but at least he's in position, and of course Defender wore off. Fortunately, this time he doesn't know how to pick a target. Okay, one more round of boosted Hound's Rush. And Hand of Light, and there we go! And the Vestal even gets a little bit of payback by getting to finish off the Templar. Okay, Violent Hack appears to do very little damage. Okay, I'm gonna use Guard Dog to protect the Vestal, since this time the Houndmaster is the durable one.
Perform beyond one's limits.
Whoa! He started saying, I'm guessing that wasn't in response to that critical healing, but it may as well have been. Okay, now we just need to clean up the polyps and we're done. Then we just have the last one. Keep up the weird... Oh! Yeah! I can't think of any other way to describe what that occultist has been doing, Wassel has been doing today, other than a time to perform beyond one's limits. May as well go for Cry Havoc, because I'm still concerned about the Vestal's mental state. Okay, so yeah, Guard Dog doesn't last as long. Not really a big deal.
Well struck.
And I'm just going to stick with Divine Comfort for a moment. Get everyone up to full health. And let's just finish this thing off. Okay. That's two of them, but we can't make camp before taking out the third one.
Promises success.
Okay, that's two of them, but we cannot make camp before taking on the last one, so we just need to power through. That's going to be a challenge because the Vestal is very close to being afflicted, and the Vestal being afflicted would be a problem. Though I will say, as helpful as she is, Corey is actually the least necessary member of this team. Frankly, the main reason why we need her is just because I screwed up, and because I forgot to bring torches, and so we need Dazzling Light to keep things lit up. But otherwise, while Divine Comfort is helpful, and Hand of Light and Mace Bash are always nice as an extra source of damage, the other three are consistently just doing more. They're consistently more necessary to the success of the team. Alright. Dazzle the Cultists, they're more dangerous. Okay. You can't one-shot this, so you may as well go after the Cultist and just wear him down. Actually, I should have used Guard Dog.
To break.
Flesh Wall. Flesh to flesh, that's what I was afraid of. Fortunately, I didn't restore that much. Okay. I have an idea. Start with Vulnerability Hex on this priest. Which means we have to deal with whatever it does. And what it does is the finger on the person who is most equipped to handle that. Alright. Rampart on this one, because I actually want to stun the guy guarding him. Fortunately, they're targeting the man-at-arms, and he can take it, at least for now. You know, an often unconsidered benefit of being virtuous, it means that it's impossible for you to become afflicted during the same mission. Okay. Dazzle this guy to prevent him from healing the cultists. That's all I need you to do. Need weird reconstruction on the man-at-arms for now. And Hound's Rush. Oh, yet another 52 damage critical, except this time it's inflicting it rather than repairing it. Stun the cultist to diminish the chance that he gets to inflict damage. Okay, Flesh Wall, which is better than Flesh to Flesh at least. So I have to deal with both. Alright. Gonna stick with, yeah, I'm gonna have Blazel stick with what he's good at and focus on healing. Alright, let's rush on. Okay. Yeah, take out the one that's actually doing the guarding. And crush. And that, alright, that wears off his stun, but I can still stun this one. Going. Okay, let's see if I can get rid of the priest before he gets a chance to do anything. His stun resistance is too high for me to reliably stun him. Mace Bash will do 9 to 18. Hand of Light will do 5 to 9. With a critical, you could kill him, but yeah, it's not likely that you'll get one. Weakening Curse instead of Vulnerability Hex. I want him to cause less damage, and he resisted the debuff. Well, resist this. Alright. And now let's just stall for a moment. Because yeah, he can heal himself because Flesh to Flesh violates conservation of matter. I can't let him stick around for much longer, but I want to get at least one Cry Havoc and one Dazzling Light in before I kill him. Well, I at least got the Dazzling Light.
A brilliant confluence of skill and purpose.
Okay. We are really going to be limping across the finish line for this one if we pull it off at all. Okay, so we have 2 more rooms we have to go through before we fight the Templar, plus however many hallway battles we get. I don't remember. This, I believe, is the most heavily guarded of the Templars. Okay, Grand Guard. That's a bit more dangerous than just Flesh Wall. Well, let's see if we can get rid of the one that isn't guarded at least. And in the meantime, let's take away the guarded status for the other one. Or not. And of course there is Deathlash, because there is always Deathlash. It's like Whiplash, but worse. Okay, I think... Oh, there we go! Got beaten to death by a Vestal. Alright, now I can't really risk being hit by, I can't really risk being hit by unbearable tremors with the Vestal's mental state the way that it currently is.
The ground quakes.
So I'm gonna keep using Dazzling Light to try to keep the torch level up, but I need to take out the defensive growth first. Which is about to happen. Deathlash is bad, but Unbearable Tremors is worse in my current situation. May as well set up vulnerability next. So honestly, I probably should have used Weird Reconstruction on the Vessel. Definitely should have used Weird Reconstruction on the Vessel. Well, dazzle him. Would have been nice to get that critical last turn, but I can't complain too much. At least I shouldn't complain too much. One more priest. We can afford to use a Cry Havoc because he doesn't get to attack this turn. And also afford a weird reconstruction because he's already marked. And we can afford a mace bash, though I really should have gone for my brothers. I could feel their blessings. So he's just de-stressing himself. Go with Defender. Weird reconstruction again. Okay, the finger on the person most equipped to handle it, though most equipped doesn't turn out to be very well equipped. Okay, one more dazzling light. Go for a bandage. Go for a cry havoc, because the man-at-arms is perfectly sufficient to kill the cultists. And there we go.
Remind yourself that
Still a couple more
overconfidence is
fights.
a slow and insidious killer.
Oh, I've been reminded of that plenty. Yeah, this is short. This will lead us back down to here. But okay, so just a little more. I know you guys have been through a lot. You performed amazingly, but we're almost there. Just a little more. Just whatever's in this room. Okay. I'm just gonna go straight for the defensive growth before it has a chance to buff itself. And weird reconstruction is really your only option. And weird reconstruction, rising to the occasion. Grand Guard isn't really the problem. Let's stun this growth. All the flesh is something we can handle. However, our cause unites us. However, you're going to want some extra protection, and the Vestal is also going to want some extra protection, so go for that. Bolster. Just need to get rid of the defensive growth before it can cause too much trouble. And that should do it. Once I hit it with Hound's Rush, it will die. Like so. Oh. And it resisted bleeding too, so it actually gets to live until the Vestal zaps it to death with dazzling light. And unfortunately, the malignant growth has decided to remind me that 2 can play at the stun game. Stun that one. Vulnerability next. Bolster increases its accuracy and critical hit chance. And let's see if we can stun both of them. Nope. Which means we have to deal with one more Daze the Mind to remember it by before I can finish it off with Hound's Rush. Except that 197% bleeding resistance. But that just gives the Vestal another chance to get a kill. Yeah, Corey is just going to be finishing everything off. Corey is basically the cleanup crew in this team composition. Actually, I'm going to go for Cry Havoc for a moment. And Defender. Defender is very important when your main healer is a cultist, because it allows you to concentrate the damage on fewer heroes. Alright. Hound's Rush. Dazzling Light. Okay. And it loses its turn. This really needs to be the last round of combat, though. Weird reconstruction.
Vigor is restored.
Critical weird reconstruction. I don't think I've ever heard that line before. Vigor is restored. Well, vigor is restored. We just did. Okay, and that's
Success
okay.
so clearly in view.
There's really nothing I can do to
Or is
prepare
it
for this
merely
mission.
a trick of the light?
We've used up the firewood. We've used up half the bandages. We've used up the dog treats. This one's gonna be, like I said, we're limping across the finish line. Fortunately, I don't need to worry about the flesh hounds as much. And the thing is, the Templar Warlord is the less durable Templar. Yeah. You see, in the previous... I'm pretty sure you can resummon the hounds. And the issue is in the previous fight, I had to get rid of the hounds to be able to reach the warlord. This time I don't have to get past the hounds, because I have a hound of my own. He just keeps de-stressing himself. Defender. Alright, we're safe from revelation. Dazzling miss, but that's... You're still doing a service because you're increasing the accuracy of everybody else's attacks.
Mortality
Nash is a problem.
in a single strike.
Especially since the damage is all concentrated on a single hero. Well, let's just knit the flesh back together. Go for Dazzling Light again. Just keep the stun. Even if we can't stun, we can... They went for the Vestal with Revelation, and this time I at least finally managed to get Defender in place. Alright, I know we can't mark him, but Hound's Rush is still what we need. At this point, I'm not even sure marking him is really necessary. Whoa. And the Man-at-Arms is sick and tired of everyone else getting to do the damage and has decided he can kill things with the best of them. The Occultists just continue being a main healer because Boissel has discovered his true love in life is healing people. And boy, is he good at it. Okay, the Templar Warlord is almost done. The Templar Warlord is completely done. The bleeding will take care of him. Means now you just focus on the other ones. Okay, antivenom, and you can actually kill, and you can now kill an enemy with Dazzling Light again. Well, if it hits.
Monstrous size has no intrinsic.
Okay, that's the Warlord down.
Unless
That leaves just the
exsanguination be
Warhounds.
considered a virtue.
This one is slowly bleeding to death. And that didn't do enough damage to finish it. Okay, so we have to tolerate one last gnashing. One last bit of wailing and gnashing of teeth. Okay. You know, let's just take a moment to appreciate. This perfectly encapsulates this playthrough.
This is how a life
I
is taken.
literally forgot to bring torches to a Darkest Dungeon run, and I managed to win. That really is this playthrough in a nutshell. Striving and working hard to overcome obstacles placed in my way entirely by my own incompetence. That's just this playthrough in a nutshell. But we got it! This mission is finally finished. Let's get back to the hamlet. 15,000 gold, and then just the leftover supplies. But that's enough to at least fund another mission. And the Man-at-Arms has deviant taste, so he's not allowed into the brothel. But he has last gasp instead of second wind. That's pretty much a lateral shift.
The maniacal cultists are quelled for a time.
Stress
but
removed.
there can be no celebration. Your progress is measured only in progressive realization and dawning horror.
Okay, so
You are in the shadow of the end.
Okay, so I have 4 more people who can't ever go back to the Darkest Dungeon, but on the other hand, I have 4 more empty spots in the roster. And the success in the Darkest Dungeon inspired everyone. Stress removed. Everyone's stress has been set to 0. I still can't believe I pulled that off. I managed to forget the torches, and I still managed to complete one of the hardest mission I've had so far with no torches. Well, with that amazingly improbable success, that's going to be the end for this part. Thank you all for watching. I love you all. and I will see you next time when we find out what else this game has in store for me.